So, today we're gonna go through another book. You know, it's about learning. I quite am interested in learning at the point of time. It is not rated that well. I know it's only having 5 out of 10, but I think it could be fine. Could be fine. I at least hope. Let's put it like this. I hope that it is gonna be fine. But yeah, we're gonna see after the intro, as always. After the intro, as we are always doing that. And with that being said, hello, welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics podcast. I have also seen, just to give you a little bit of context, I guess. Can I please? No, it's not working. I think it is not working. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. Well, anyway, I have seen that there's also books about maths per se. Maybe I should actually go through that. Maybe I'm just quickly gonna have a look at it. I know that I've had a look at it, you know, because since I have to learn quite a lot today, and we're gonna type in learn, and we are hopefully, no, it's been the wrong thing. I didn't want to do that. But if you just press Command F or just Control F or whatever it might be, then you can type in learn, and then you don't have to use the other. You don't need to learn anything. Well, yeah. Then relearn about almost everything in life. No, it's not. Yes, that. A Mind for Numbers by Barbara Oakley. I mean, since it is about mathematics, it kind of would make sense to. It is actually very short. I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna go for this one, even though the other one is also about just programming, so it might just be good, quite. But yeah, anyway, A Mind for Numbers by Barbara Oakley. Thought I was getting a book about math, but ended up being a surprisingly good book about learning in general. Main points about diffused thinking versus focused thinking. And I've just immediately liked the first one, which is kind of the only reason why I'm actually now going through it, I guess. Your brain can work on a problem while you are sleeping only if you concentrate on trying to solve the problem before falling asleep. The problem is, I guess, if you really want to do that, if you really try to do so, then you're not going to have a very, very good time just falling asleep, I guess. This is my hot take because, if you constantly think about this math problem that you're having and whatnot, then I don't know. Like, you're not gonna fall asleep that well. Toggle your thinking, getting a glimpse of what you are learning before returning later to more fully understand what is going on. Toggle your thinking. Getting a glimpse of what you are learning before returning later to more fully understand what's going on. Which makes sense. Just in general, understanding things, and in general, trying to live that quite as I've seen, is often a good idea. Spending a minute or two glancing ahead before you read in depth will help you organize your thoughts. You're creating little neural hooks to hang your thinking on, which I guess is. Yes, I can't talk now. I think it's a really good one, a really, really important one. Therefore, I'm also gonna highlight it. I have to highlight more. I tend to forget about that, but I just certainly should stop highlighting everything. First of all, because I don't really know if I'm allowed to do that. I guess not, actually. But well, the thing is, for example, fellow European students might know that, but if you're having a listening exercise, I don't know if this is actually also done in just native English countries, but I don't think so. Yeah, what did I want to say? I just remembered something. I should write that down. By the way, also a good idea to just write down things. I tend to forget things relatively easily. Relatively. Not very easy. Depends on what it is. If it is something that I'm obsessed with, then I'm gonna fucking remember that just anytime. Any fucking time. The problem is also just remembering what I meant with my just fucking cryptographic thoughts there and stuff. Like, yeah, anyway. The thing is, if you're having a listening exercise and you just read the text before you listen to it, you know what the question is going to be, and you know what what to look for. And it makes it way easier. Also with every single math thing. And if you know what you have to do, you're going to have a better time. And you can also be faster and more efficient and maybe even better, quite, or something. Focused mode is used to concentrate on something that's already tightly connected in your mind because you're familiar and comfortable with the underlying concepts. I see. Focused mode. The diffuse approach involves a big picture perspective, useful when you're learning something new. If you're trying to understand or figure out something new, turn off your precision-focused thinking and turn on your big picture diffuse mode, which I guess just makes sense to understand the concepts and understand how everything is working together to create these things and those movements, those actions, those whatever it actually might be that you are looking for. In maths, like, I don't know, like just don't only focus on multiplication. I don't know, just also focus on integrals and stuff like that and understand in which way they all kind of work with each another. I think it is a good idea. I think it makes sense. As long as we are consciously focusing on a problem, we are blocking the diffuse mode. Okay. Do something else until your brain is consciously free of any thought of the problem. Yes, I think I'm also seeing that, like, maybe doing too much of it. Yeah, I don't know. I have to figure it out. I really have to figure it out. I really have to figure out a way how I'm going to learn all those things and feel motivated learning all those things, because it's not that of a bad thing. Like, I'm sitting here learning something. It's actually pretty lit. This is what I'm doing every fucking single day. And this is what I'm also going to do for the next 4 weeks. So I better figure out a way to just make it a little bit interesting, or just to maybe find goals in that. And well, let's talk about purpose, like finding a purpose in that and finding a reason why I'm doing that. And of course, like if you have people around you and stuff, then it's making it way easier. Maybe it is also just a form of distracting you from the things and distracting you from how things are, and yeah. I'm not gonna be in school in this year or just till graduating, which is a sad thing. Do something. No, accepting the first idea that comes to mind can prevent you from finding a better solution. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I think so. I should actually not have my phone besides me, because I always look at what people write. And by the way, shout out to all the people. One of the only reasons why I think I'm not depressed is that I can text people, and I know that I can also call people. And I'm very sorry for all those people that are not able to do so and that are not having that. But yeah. A few hours is long enough for the diffuse modes to make significant progress, but not so long that its insights fade away. I see. When you're first learning new concepts, don't let things go untouched for longer than a day. So doing it over and over and over again and repeating things, as we've also just seen it in the other summary that we've went through. Frustration is usually a good time out signal. Yes, I'm also seeing that. The problem is if you just see like not really frustration, but yeah, frustration is really like a sign of just let it be what it is. And some days are just inevitably going to be better, and some days are going to be worse, which is a fucking fucked up thing. Like, I don't like that. I want to have every single day being like fucking productive, because I just like the feeling, and I like just knowing that I've done something smart that day. I don't just want to live through the day and just do something. Like, I gotta have to have some purpose. Yeah, I think a lot of things lead us down to purpose, and knowing that you're doing something that makes sense, and it's not just like doing something because you don't know what else to do. Yeah, repeating something 20 times in one evening, it won't stick nearly as well as it will if you practice the same number of times over several days or weeks. Yes. Einstellung, which is a German word, which means, I mean, if we talk about Einstellungen, then it is most often system preferences or preferences. If you just want to adjust certain things in your system. But yeah, what do they mean? I didn't even know that this is an English word. Maybe it is not. Einstellung, a person's predisposition to solve a given problem in a specific manner, even though better or more appropriate methods of solving the problem exist. Yes, indeed. It's like being primed in a certain way. The Einstellung, or Einstellung, however you pronounce it, I don't know, effect is the negative effect of previous experience when solving new problems, because we're most often going to do it in the same way. The best language programs incorporate structured practice that includes plenty of repetition and rote focused mode learning of the language, along with more diffuse like free speech with native speakers. Once you chunk an idea or concept, you don't need to remember all the little underlying details. You've got the main idea, the chunk, and that is enough. Yeah, I'm also seeing that. And this is also one of the reasons why I do need for myself, it just might be different for you, it might be different for everyone, I don't know. But if I know why and how things are working, whether it is actually a technical process, when it is about printing something, because I also have to know that, I guess, quite. Or whether it is about just some math things. Like, I don't know, like there's so many things that I just don't know and nobody's explaining that. You know, I don't know what, especially when it is about some graphical things, I would say, let's talk about integrals. What does an integral do? Yes, okay, it just does calculate the how do you say it? Fuck. You calculate the amount of space there is between the x-axis and the graph or that graph. Yes, okay, but when you know this, then you can do something with it. If you don't understand the concept, if you don't understand what things are doing, what the parameters are doing, you can't do anything with them. Of course, you can just, I don't know, guess that they're doing something and guess that this is the right thing to do, but I don't know. And I've actually also seen that I've naturally become better by just doing this shit every single day, even though yesterday and the day before wasn't too good, and therefore I just really want to make today a more and better day for maths per se. And also I think just, I don't know, figuring out when you should be doing things. Like I think afterwards I'm gonna do maths because I feel like it, feels good. And when I'm just done with maths and when I think like, well, yeah, whatnot, then I'm gonna do the other things. Maybe it is the chores, maybe those, I don't know, structuring and formatting things, like maybe these kind of stuff. Rereading text seems to be effective if you let time pass between rereadings so that it becomes more of an exercise in spaced repetition. Glancing at a solution to a problem and thinking you truly know it yourself is one of the most common illusions of competence in learning. Yes, should not have a look at the fucking answer, because there's so just 100 fucking different ways how this could be right, and how you can just take your answer and structure it in a way that it is going to be the real answer, even though it is not. So it's just a way to fuck yourself. Don't do that. I've also seen that plenty of times. Key to the slow hunch is simply having mental access to aspects of an idea. The way some aspects can tentatively and randomly combine with others until eventually beautiful novelty can emerge. Which, by the way, I think is also an interesting thing. Like, what happens if I do that? What is happening? What happens if I do this and that and these and those? Don't know, but you gotta have to try out. You gotta have to just deal with it. A key difference between creative scientists and technically competent but non-imaginative ones is their breadth. Is it like breadth, like the width of interest? Your breadth of interest? I would say so. Being able to imagine things and how they work is a pretty important thing to learn things. Like if you think about how things are working, then since it is a picture, I guess alone is making you able to just learn things better and faster and more efficient maybe, which like, yeah, I think it is a conversation. Like, should you, I mean, like there's definitely going to be some effective ways for you per se as a person. But there's also just some, I think, general good ways to do whatever. Yeah. My scissor. I shouldn't actually be doing this because it's probably really loud, since it is such a clicky sound, and you always hear that no matter what. If there's a fucking, I don't know, helicopter outside there, you would still fucking hear that. But yeah. Strengthening an initial learning pattern within a day after you first begin forming it is important. Recalling material when you are outside your usual place of study helps you strengthen your grasp of the material by reviewing it from a different perspective. Yes, this is why I like to just actually stand up to do things, and also just sit down on the floor there, because it is a different space, because I'm not always in the same space, which, you know, might be just incredibly important at this point in time when I'm just always at home. On the other hand, it might have also been just a really good idea to be in school because of this only reason. Not only because of the people, I know, but still, I have been talking about it, I think, in the other episode. I decided to not go to school. I could, but I decided to not do that since it's a little bit too risky, because, I mean, people that are living close to the school that I'm attending, they, of course, like, for them it is fine. For them, they can do that. They can be in school. They can just do stuff, but I have to drive 1.5 fucking hours. Quite. You know, not one way, but 2 ways. and like chances are pretty high. Something is gonna happen. And I just do not want to take any risks at this point in time because I want to make my fucking A levels. I want to do this. I don't want to be like waiting till autumn. I do not want to do that. Well, yeah. But still, like, it's just so in my mind. And it pisses me off a little bit that it is so in my mind that I always have to fucking think about it. But yeah, let's let that pass away. I've made my decision and I had to make my decision yesterday. So yeah. Well, practice by doing a mixture of different kinds of problems require different strategies. Overlearning means a student continues to study or practice immediately after some criterion has been achieved. Once they understand X, they should move on to do something else and return to X on another day. I see. Rather than devote a long session to the study or practice of the same skill, students should divide their effort across several shorter sessions. Maybe this is also what I'm just subconsciously doing because it works for me. I don't know. I'm gonna go through the whole one today because I can. Rather than devote a long... No, I've read that. 2 men sat in front of the audience and blithely downed more than double a deadly dose of arsenic. In tiny doses, arsenic doesn't seem harmful. You can even build up an immunity to its effects. Okay, this is not good. This can allow you to take larger doses and look healthy, even as the poison is slowly increasing your risk of cancer and re-waging your organs. Procrastinators put off just the one little thing. They do it again and again, gradually growing used to it. They can even look healthy. I see. This is why they talk about fucking drugs there. The dread of doing a task uses up more time and energy than doing the task itself. What is a dread? Just know the dreads, you know what I mean. Worry, being afraid. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. Learned industriousness helps brighten tasks you once thought were boring. Use the Pomodoro principle, which is 25 minutes of stuff doing and 5 minutes of rest. And then again, 25 minutes of stuff doing, 5 minutes of rest. If you learn under mild stress, you can handle greater stress much more easily. Yes. By focusing on process rather than product, you allow yourself to back away from judging yourself. Am I getting closer to finish? And allow yourself to relax into the flow of the work. By focusing on the process rather than product. Yes, I think it is good. Work a key problem all the way through. Do another repetition of the problem before you go to sleep and work the problem again. As soon as you can the next day, work the problem again. You should see that you are able to solve the problem more quickly now. Your understanding should be deeper. You may even wonder why you have ever had any trouble with it. But I mean, like, of course, if you once grasp an idea, if you once grasp a concept, then it is going to be easier. Of course, unless you forget about it once again, which is not good. But yeah. We trick ourselves into doing what we ought to be doing. The highest performing people I know are those who are installed the best tricks in their lives. The smart part of us sets up things for us to do. The not so smart part responds to almost automatically. Quite. Those who are committed to maintaining healthy leisure time along with their hard work outperform those who doggedly pursue an endless treadmill. Transform distant deadlines into daily ones. Yes. Which is something to think about, like actually having a structure in your learning thing. I think it makes sense. Calculus Made Easy by Sylvanus Thompson has helped generations of students master the subject. Yes, it is a really good one. I've also had a look at it. You should also have a look at it. It's really good. And it is explaining just ideas and concepts and things that you probably don't learn in school, which is always a good thing. Do you know the crazy shape of the crankshaft in a car? Yeah. What of it? Good. Now tell me, how did you describe it when you were talking to yourself? It was then that Feynman realized that thoughts can be visual as well as verbal. Yeah, they can. It reminds me on a book called, I think, Hey Mr. Feynman, which is apparently a relatively funny one. Yeah. But yeah, this is it with the book. I think there is a lot of great ideas. I hope that I wasn't too fast. But I'm going to end the episode there. Let's see if somebody needs something from me. No, not necessarily. I see. I'm still gonna answer. I just actually also try to answer as fast as I possibly can. Always. I do not want people to wait. I'm not that an important person. I rarely have to do some things that make me answer actually pretty late. When it is something that is meditating and or recording. But yeah. This is my thing, my thought. Question of the day. The question of the day is, can you do something? Can you make something? Can you build something to make somebody's day better? Somebody's life better? Can you do something? And if yes, why don't you do it? But yeah. With this being said, I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered. This basically means your legacy, basically means just being a nice person and being remembered as a nice person, which is always a good thing. 3 other questions that I have for you are, why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is, again, and as well, a fucking good idea. But yeah, I'm going to see you. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. I just truly appreciate that. And yeah, I'm going to see you. Bye-bye. I have had that and I've done that and now